Well, we're back with the GMT 400 series, another project. Got a center console upgrade I've been wanting to do. Yesterday, I made a trip about 30 miles south of here and picked up this center console. This is a center console out of a 2002 Chevy Tahoe, so the GMT 800 series that replaced this body style in 1999. Been something I've been always wanting to do. Just a matter of finding one on Facebook Marketplace that was close, that they didn't want an arm and a leg for, and running down and picking it up. Nabbed this for $50. It was a full-length center console. I have extra pieces. I already started taking some of it apart last night. Not going to use the extra pieces that would have flowed up into the dash. Basically from here back. But then what I will do is these extra plastic pieces, this is where that center piece would have connected as it flowed up into the dash. There's a tape deck and CD storage. I will use these extra plastic pieces, make a template, cut it out with my die grinder, Dremel, whatever works best, and then epoxy that one of the plastic piece into here. That'll blend right in. Same thing back here. This had a couple options back in the day, this little slot. In the pickup trucks, it was a cubby, just a molded plastic cubby. But in the Tahoe, and I took it out last night, the Tahoe, and I'm going to just go out on a limb and assume the Suburbans, rear audio control with some aux cords, and you can listen to your own tunage, and this sat back in there. Obviously, the wiring harness, I just unhooked everything. I didn't cut anything. It was already cut like this from the person I picked it up from, but I got the plugs and all the parts of the loom, tape deck, cassette deck. Won't be using those, but I'll hold on to them if I sell them or whatever. But again, got an extra plastic pieces from where this flowed up in the dash. I'll make a template, an epoxy a piece in, and it'll just blend right in. You won't even know it's there. Reason I wanted this center console versus what's in the truck, we'll go look at that in a second. Reasons are probably a little petty. This recess storage space right here, riding, you can throw your phone there. Kids can set stuff there, their tablets, their books. My wife can throw her phone in there. Another reason is actual true side-by-side cup holders, and this cubby is actually kind of nice. Both phones, we tested it out last night, both phones can sit, my phone and my wife's phone can sit vertically upright right here with her biggest water jug, her University of Iowa biggest water cup she's got. And then lastly, obviously, it's a deeper bin than what's in the truck. There's hardware that what was in it. Pretty happy with this. I think it blends close enough with the tan interior on the inside of the truck. I'm not going to paint it. When I brought this thing home last night, it was pretty grimy from the parts person I picked this up from. I took the whole thing apart. Wasn't that hard. It's not held together by too many screws. Took the whole thing apart, hosed everything down, scrubbed everything down with Dawn, and my goal was to get it clean enough, put it back together to try to figure out if I want to end up painting this to better match the interior, or to see how much grime probably wouldn't come off. And honestly, it's pretty clean. It's got some scuff marks, where the plastic kind of been gouged, kids or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna scuff those down and repaint it. I want it to look like it belongs. If I sand those rough edges smooth and paint it, I think it'll look a little out of place. At the end of the day, it's a 30-year-old truck. The console itself is about 25, 26 years old, and I want it to look like it belongs. It's a comment from I find on the internet, Facebook forums, YouTube, GMT 400 forum. It's a common swap for these trucks, but there's not a lot of videos out there on how to do it. go inside and kind of see why we're switching out here. So this console, anything wrong with it? No. But GM, in my opinion, kind of handicapped themselves a little bit, cut themselves off the knees when they made these consoles from 95 to 2000, if you count the 3/4 ton, the GMT 400 3/4 tons. First and foremost, again, petty reasons. It's not really a true side-by-side cup holder. I can fit a decent sized cup or mug there, and then it's like a partial. So that always sucks for my wife, because then mine's there, and then GM was all about cup holders in the 90s. That's a hidden party trick with these trucks, but oh man, they just rattle around, they spill. Kind of useless cup holder. Cool at the time. I remember I thought it was cool when I was a kid. Dad had one of these trucks, but then also up here, again, useless cup holders. The pre-airbag era, the dashes were like this, 95, 96, and then 97 till the end of the run. It was flat across. You lost this cubby and these two wannabe cup holders, and then you had the passenger side airbag that was mandated 97 and later. Back here, again, not a big deal. These two cup holders here for the kids, it holds their fast food drinks when we're coming back from, if we grab fast food after a grocery run or something. But I guess I'll miss this little storage cubby here. About the only thing I might miss from it. But the plan is to take this apart, and it should be pretty straightforward because it's not tied in like that center console that we're putting in. They tied the mounting bracket into the seatbelt locations, and these aren't. The seatbelts aren't dependent on mounting with the center console. So I think what I'm going to be able to do, take this out, and then there's a metal bracket that'll lift up with the console, and I've opened it up. There's part of the brackets riveted to the console and part of the brackets bolted to the floor with what I'm assuming on the backside is a welded nut. I'm going to take both brackets apart. The mounting bracket for the new console came with it. So that's what I was saying earlier. These tied into the seatbelt locations on the 99 to 06 trucks, and then these 4 bolts here are where the center console mounted up. So the plan is, and this is what I found on YouTube, not very many YouTube videos out there or pictures on the forums. I've got the Luxury, got a Miller welder over there. I've got cut-off wheel, die grinder, air tools, Dremels. I won't know exactly how I'm going to do it till I get into it, but I'm for sure probably going to cut these off here, and then I'll have the parts of the bracket from the other console, and then it'll just kind of be trial by fire. Mock it up, test fit, mock it up, test fit. I want to be able to pull this off so this sits flush on the floor. These 4 bolts mount in to the bottom of the console, and then if I have to drill holes, because there should be 4 spots where that old center console attaches through the floor. Hoping that I can just drill holes out, mount this to the floor, and then these 4 bolts will have the console mount to it. I'll bring you along the way as I chip away at this. Again, I'm excited to do this project. It's not something where there's electronics involved like that instrument cluster and calibrating needles, and I can be driving the truck without a center console and be working on it when I have downtime and not be a super big inconvenience. So I'll bring you along the way. I'll take videos, pictures as I go. But again, it should be a pretty popular swap. One thing about this I didn't point out earlier, the 12-volt power outlet, I tried popping that out, and I thought I might try to cut a piece of plastic and just kind of blend that in. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna wire it in right away, but I'll leave the plug there just in case, because I found it. Here's the main loom. This is the plug that goes into it. It's only got 2 wires, so a power and a ground. So if there's a way to tie in, probably the shortest location would be tying into the power, tying in underneath the power seats. I can, if I wanted to go down that electrical rabbit hole sometime, I can tie these 2 wires in to a circuit already in the truck and hide the wires away, and then you can see the plug back in there, and I can just plug it in, and then I have a charging source in the back seat that this truck wouldn't have had, that they didn't start putting in these until '99. So yeah, I'll leave that there for now, and then if I get a wild hair after I kind of get everything installed and put together, and I want to try to expand my horizons and learn some wiring, then we'll go down that rabbit hole. So I think that's about everything. Next time you probably see a video, I'll probably show you these filled and epoxied in with some plastic, and maybe some mock-ups of getting this fabricated into the truck. Adios.